question is, are you capable of bringing out her extraordinary? You have a choice to make. You can blame her for changing. You can blame him for stealing her. You can blame circumstances, timing, or bad luck. Or you can take responsibility for your role in what happened. You can acknowledge that your behavior influenced her behavior. You can accept that your neglect contributed to her transformation, and then you can decide to be better. You can decide to be the kind of man who brings out the best in people instead of the worst. You can decide to be the kind of man who makes women want to be their best selves. Because here's the ultimate truth. The same woman who seems ordinary with one man can be extraordinary with another. The same woman who seems boring with one man can be fascinating with another. The same woman who seems cold with one man can be warm with another. It's not about the woman. It's about the man and how he makes her feel. The woman you want exists. She's sitting right next to you, waiting for you to create the conditions for her to emerge. She's waiting for you to notice her, appreciate her, encourage her, and love her in a way that makes her want to be her best. The question isn't whether she's capable of being amazing. The question is whether you're capable of being the kind of man who makes her want to be amazing. The choice is yours. The woman you get is the woman you create the conditions for. Choose wisely. Logistics, bills, or schedules. When did you last talk about feelings, dreams, fears, hopes? When did you last ask her how she was really doing and actually care about the answer? When did you last make her feel emotionally safe? When did you last listen to her without trying to fix her problems or dismiss her feelings? When did you last make her feel heard, understood, and valued for more than what she could do for you? She became emotionally unavailable because being emotionally available became painful. Every time she tried to connect with you, you were distracted, dismissive, or disinterested. Every time she tried to share something important, you minimized it or ignored it. Every time she reached out for emotional intimacy, you retreated into work, hobbies, or your phone. So she stopped reaching. She stopped sharing. She stopped being vulnerable. She built walls to protect herself from the pain of being emotionally neglected by the person who was supposed to care about her most. But with him, those walls come down. With him, she's vulnerable again. With him, she shares her thoughts, feelings, fears, and dreams. With him, she's emotionally present because he makes her feel emotionally safe. He doesn't just hear her words, he understands her emotions. He doesn't just respond to what she says, he responds to what she feels. He doesn't just tolerate her vulnerability, he treasures it. When she's upset, he doesn't try to fix her or tell her she's overreacting. He holds space for her emotions. When she's excited, he doesn't dampen her enthusiasm. He celebrates with her. When she's scared, he doesn't dismiss her fears. He provides comfort and reassurance. This is why she's emotionally alive with him while being emotionally dead with you. Not because she stopped loving you, but because loving you became too painful when that love wasn't met with the emotional intimacy she craved. Every woman is capable of being extraordinary. The everything. Now she's pursuing hobbies, setting goals, making plans. Why? Because he encourages her. Because he finds her passions interesting. Because he makes her feel like her dreams matter. He asks her about her day and actually listens to the answer. He remembers details about things she cares about. He encourages her to pursue interests that make her happy. He doesn't see her passions as competition for his attention. He sees them as additions to her attractiveness. When she talks about wanting to learn guitar, he doesn't roll his eyes. He helps her find a teacher. When she mentions a book she's reading, he doesn't dismiss it. He asks thoughtful questions. When she gets excited about something, he doesn't kill her enthusiasm. He feeds it. This is why she's becoming someone you don't recognize. Because for the first time in years, someone is encouraging her to be fully herself. Someone is making her feel like her interests matter. Someone is reminding her that she's more than just a girlfriend. She's a complete, complex, fascinating human being. The woman who seemed boring and predictable with you is suddenly dynamic and interesting with him. Not because she changed, but because he created an environment where her true self could emerge. The third change, she becomes emotionally available again. She didn't become cold. You just stopped providing warmth. This is the change that hurts the most. The woman who became distant, closed off, and emotionally unavailable with you is suddenly open, vulnerable, and expressive with him. She's laughing more. She's talking more. She's sharing more. She's being affectionate more. She's being intimate more. She's being present more. She's become the woman you fell in love with. The woman you've been trying to get back for months or years. The woman you thought was gone forever. But she was never gone. She just went into hiding. Think about the last real conversation you had with her. Not about phone, not noticed her while watching TV. When was the last time you stopped what you were doing, looked into her eyes, and made her feel like the most beautiful woman in the world? She's spending an hour getting ready for a casual coffee with him while she couldn't be bothered to brush her hair for your anniversary dinner. Why? Because his eyes light up when he sees her. Because his jaw drops when she makes an effort. Because he makes her feel like a goddess while you make her feel like furniture. This isn't about vanity. This is about feeling valued. This is about feeling seen. This is about feeling like her femininity is appreciated rather than taken for granted. The brutal truth. She was always capable of being this version of herself. She just needed someone who made her feel like it was worth it. The second change, she rediscovers her passions. She didn't lose her spark. You just stopped being the flame that ignited it. Suddenly, she's interested in things again. She's taking dance classes. She's learning photography. She's reading books. She's listening to new. She's talking about dreams and goals you've never heard her mention. She's become interesting again. And you're sitting there wondering, where did this come from? When did she become this person? Why didn't she ever share these interests with me? Remember when she wanted to take that art class and you said it was a waste of money? Remember when she talked about her dream of traveling and you changed the subject to something practical? Remember when she showed you something she was excited about and you barely looked up from your phone? You taught her that her passions were inconvenient. You taught her that her dreams were unrealistic. You taught her that her excitement was annoying. So, she stopped sharing. She stopped dreaming. She stopped being passionate about anything. But now she's alive. Again. Now she's interested in. You think you know her. You've been together for months, maybe years. You know her morning routine, her favorite coffee order, her go-to Netflix show. You know how she laughs, how she cries, how she argues. You know her quirks, her habits, her patterns. You know her so well that you stop paying attention. And that's when it happens. That's when he appears. The other man, the one who makes her suddenly different. You notice it first in small ways. She starts dressing differently. She laughs at jokes that weren't funny before. She develops interests she never had. She becomes someone you don't recognize. And you ask yourself the question that haunts every man who's ever lost a woman to another. Who is this person? And why? Didn't she ever become this person for me? The answer will destroy everything you thought you knew about women, love, and relationships. Because what you're about to learn isn't just about her changing for another man. It's about why she never changed for you. The first change. She becomes his version of attractive. She didn't hate makeup. She hated wearing makeup for someone who stopped noticing. Watch closely. The woman who told you she didn't care about her appearance suddenly cares deeply. The woman who said makeup was fake is now contouring like a professional. The woman who lived in sweatpants is now wearing dresses that make you remember why you fell for her in the first place. But here's what's really happening. And this is the part that will hurt. She always cared about her appearance. She always wanted to look beautiful. She always had the capacity to put in effort. She just stopped doing it for you. Why? Because you stopped noticing. Because your compliments became routine. Because your attention became guaranteed. Because somewhere along the way you taught her that her effort didn't matter to you. Think about it. When was the last time you really looked at her, not glanced at her while scrolling your